Hello everybody, it's me, Tonic, and I'm here in the Tier 7 Premium, the Adachi again, because I'm grinding credits because I've got a lot of Tier 7 and Tier 8 ships to buy, but I don't have the credits for them, and having just finished the Schlieffen in the Bureau as well, who needs a number of upgrades, and haven't picked up a number of ships over the last few weeks, those credits are definitely in need. Now, unfortunately, because of when I clipped this game, I didn't get the full 15 minutes and start of the game in. But as you can see, we're here, we're across on ACAP. Now, one of the things I want to say about this game is there is what I would class as a priority target that survives until the end of the game. So, if you're a battleship or a cruiser captain, I know it can be a pain in the backside not to be taken home, the big damage scores and things like this. But wouldn't you much rather have a win? Because a win is much nicer than a defeat. So the priority target that I point out in this game is that guy there, the Ochakov, who we have spotted very early on. There's a Boise there too. That's a nasty bit of HE spam. And it's like nobody wants to shoot at them. I know that Ochakovs generally tend to build agile and they sit a long way off. But seriously, there's 3 destroyers in this game. And if you want them to stay alive, then what you're going to have to do is prioritize these targets. Take the shot, even if you don't kill it. If you knock enough hit points off that guy, he is going to stay out of the way. Now, you did say that I was pushing that cap, but I've since turned away from it, and I'm using this island because I've got a good feeling that this guy is going to run in and light up his radar just like that. Now, although we got other ships that are sat there in a smoke screen, that Ochakov's radar is dangerous. It's dangerous to the little boats, especially with all his guns. You can see there I'm taking fire from a Zeton who's, 10.5 kilometers away. So those people that say that destroyers have an easy life sailing round undetected, firing salvo after salvo of torpedoes, it's not true. It's high tiers. We're dealing with battleships, especially with Haruna coming back. You've got Zeton, you've got Schlieffen, you've got Brandenburg, you've got Bismarck. These guys are rocking anywhere from 10 to 12 kilometer plus secondaries, and they don't even need to be looking at your destroyers. Quite a few of them have got sonar as well, and if they're running with a radar cruiser, your destroyers are really going to get chewed up. So what you need to do is to get on to the targets that are the most dangerous to your little boats, because trust me, those little boats are the ones that are doing the spotting for you. They're the ones that are going to be doing the capping for you, and they can literally win the game, but they need to survive. Now, I've called this game patient but potent, and I am playing patiently because I don't want to throw myself into the middle of everything and risk an early trip back to port. We get 2 torpedo hits on that Zeton there, but I guarantee everybody else is going to pick up that kill, are they? Yep, there we go. Caracciolo picks it up with secondaries. But I don't mind somebody else taking that kill. That is one set of secondaries off, and we all know those Caracciolos can be a royal pain in the backside when they roll in on you with smoke and there's somebody else spotting. And there's an Atlantico too. Now, yep, big wallet warrior ship. Again, the secondaries on that can be devastating, but as we watch the torpedo relaunch indicator tick down, we also know that a broadside salvo of torpedoes from the Adachi can be devastating. So we've put the first set out, and then we dropped the second set slightly behind. We could have waited a little bit longer there, but those torpedoes are of a good speed, and the torpedoes that have just been launched from the front. And here's a tip for you destroyer captains out there. It is very often the case that if you're firing torpedoes from the front, that they're going to steer through the middle of them. But if you're firing from the side, the chances are you're going to connect and you're going to get a dev strike. A set of torpedoes from the front can be a good decision because it can keep them sailing in a straight line and prevent them from turning left or right, and so restrict their movement. But it's a rare occasion you're going to hit anything. If you do hit something, I think it's going to be a little bit of luck, because the number of torpedoes I sail through that are fired from the front, and I'm not the greatest of battleship captains, but yeah, I'm quite happy to take one on the bow and just carry on sailing through it, because I'm going to run you down if you're in a smoke screen and you've just fired those torpedoes at me. But here we are. We've managed to pull an advantage in ships, and we are going to push in and take our capture point now. But the Ochakov is still out there, and he is still a risk. I don't know if he's burned both his radars. I don't know if he's running fully packed and has 3 radars. So we're going to stick beside this little island and use it for cover, because we can stay on the cap and we can stay in cover. We see that there's a synop there as well, but the important thing here is the capture point. We've got a lead of just on 100 points, but that isn't to say that that lead is going to stay there, because sometimes if you start battering a team down, they will suddenly find the spirit to fight and they will start battering your team back. And I think this does turn into one of those occasions where I think the blue team just get a little bit overconfident. I know some of the CCs call it winning harder, and I think some people do really get it into the heads that they need to win this one harder than they actually do. And yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bit of that as well. But there are 2 cruisers, there's the Synop and there's 1 destroyer. The Synop is going away from us, and we're going to push out and we're going to screen this side. Now I say there, we've got a cruiser still all the way at the back, kind of out of contention. Red team are obviously in B cap. Chances are that's the destroyer because he's unsighted. We've got somebody pushing C, where one of the cruisers was last seen, and the Synop, sorry, not the Synop, the Ochakov has kind of disappeared off the radar at the moment, but he is out there. There's a destroyer closer to B than I am. There's also a battleship out there, and I think there's a battleship across there on C cap as well. So we are very well spread around this map. But are we also clumping up a little bit too much? It's going to turn against us in this one. Now, I put the torpedoes there at the Synop, and I forgot one of the little things that I learned about this game is that ships will always slow down into a turn. They bleed speed, and then they will pick up speed again as they come out of that turn and start sailing in a straight line. Now, I was already onto that Synop, so I don't know why this Mars did not turn and push into B cap, because he was well placed for it. We land 2 torpedoes, we get 2 incapacitations, we get 2 floods, and so we're going to add insult to injury here. And RNG kind of throw these shells a little bit all over the place, but here we go. There's a low health ship, he's ticking. Everybody wants a piece of it because it's an easy kill, isn't it? But it's my floods that are ticking. We get a fire, and that's him gone. So we pick up a second kill, and we tick through 130,000 damage. And so now I'm looking at the points, I'm looking at the ships. We've still got 6 versus 3. There's the Miyoko. Our torpedoes are already reloaded, but this guy is going to be zigging and zagging because he's just seen the Synop disappear. and one of our ships has pushed back into B cap. But there we go. We lose La Foudre to red team's destroyer. They're pulling it back. It's 5 plays 3. What is this Miyoko doing? Can I get torpedoes on him? Can I bait him into a kill, or is he just going to push straight along to this side of the map and try and keep an advantage for them? But there is the Ochakov. He has gone all the way round sea and he is heading for the north. So we ping our torpedoes out there towards the Miyoko and looking at how long we've got to get behind this island and working out when we're going to disappear from sight and just firing those shells off. And there we go. We disappear. We land 2 or we land 4. We pick up a high caliber, so that's 131,500 damage for high caliber. That's 1/3. Then we drop a torpedo on him with a flood, and that flood is ticking. And I'm thinking, well, how on earth is that ticking? Is he on damage control? I didn't notice him take any other damage. And if that torpedo's hit him and he's ticking, he's going to be running down, and this is where I do the win harder thing, because I turn around and I have a look and I'm like, geez, okay, 9.5 Ks. He's fixed the damage. Can we get a fire on him, or can we drop a shot on him? And look, he turns out, but plop, he's gone. That is kill number 3, 154,000 damage. So that's what, another 24,000 damage on top of the high caliber. So we're already eating into somebody else's high caliber. But we've got control of the capture points. I can see where the Ochakov is going. I'm looking at twist and track, and what I want to do is turn back and defend the cap that I started on. You'll notice pretty much my entire game has been spent on this left third of the map. So although we didn't go running straight in to the capture point, as we lose the Kuchesov to the Miyoko's torpedoes, even though he died a couple of minutes ago, we played that cap patiently. We didn't rush in. We saw that there were 2 battleships there. We saw that there was sonar. We saw that there was radar. There were 2 cruisers. There was at least 1 destroyer. It would have been a bad mistake to run straight into ACAP. Instead, what we did is we observed, we watched, we got in a position where we could put fire out. We could whittle down the red team's capability, and then we could move in and take the capture point. The rest of the map has been a bit to and fro, because each team has been turning the cap in their favour. And so we've been dragged around a little bit instead of taking the cap and defending the cap. The team has been dragged around a little bit, and they've been pulled in the way of torpedoes and shells. So I can see roughly where my closest target is. I'm thinking, is it the destroyer and the Ochakov coming round to this cap? And now what I'm doing is I'm looking for a position for survival, because we do have the lead. But if that Shiratsuyu can get us spotted, or he gets lucky with some torpedoes, that can very quickly flip the game in favour of red team. And at this point, I'm feeling I've had a pretty good game, and I don't want to lose this one. So we're going to look at where we can put ourselves so that we can defend this capture point if needs be, but the clock is running down. So if the Shiratsuyu or the Ochakov was to pick up 2 kills, I want to be in a position to survive this game and still bring home the win. We've got a smoke screen available, but has he got radar available? That's the question. Again, this radar cruiser should not be surviving to end the game, guys. He should be a priority target, being taken off the map at the earliest opportunity. So So we get the 2 back turrets across there. Do we land anything? Yep, we land 2 shells. We pick up a few more hit points of damage, putting us just up to under 156,000. The Ochakov is onto ACAP, but even if he lights his radar up now, there's not enough time for him to kill me. So there we go, a whisker under 156,000 damage. We take our 3 kills, we get a solo cap, 10 torpedo hits and 9 floods. That's quite a good ratio there. But we get the dev strike, 2897 on the base XP, and the Vanguard picks up 3 kills as well. We didn't have to kill them all because we had the caps. Another few lessons to learn from there. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I know it's early in the week, but stick around, click one of these links. Don't forget to smash the like button, leave me a comment about what you thought of the gameplay there, and if you haven't done already, please do subscribe to the channel and I'll keep the content coming. Until next time, take care and goodbye.